don't patch up your differences with Paddy, don't bother coming back here tonight. You won't even get the offer of the couch.
If you knew how frustrating it was to work with the big dollop. I mean, he's content being a parochial vet, patching up pets for a pittance. I could make that business soar.
How? By ripping off a few more pensioners?
He was mouthing off irrationally about Edna.
I saw that woman trying to rake together that money in the post office. It's sickening.
You can't accuse me of being a crook until you at least hear my side.
I'm not interested in any more of your excuses. I've got enough on my plate trying to run this business on my own. Just leave, will you?
Busy day?
Yeah. Dreary morning at home, fun with Mum, and then the afternoon full to the brim with paperwork. Right.
Right.
How'd you fancy Skipdale Hall for lunch? We could get a room and have it sent up.
Don't have much of an appetite.
We could just get the room.
You can be so insensitive.
You okay?
Of course I'm not. My assets are on a downward spiral. At this rate, they'll be saying howdy to my knees before pearls do.
I've been thinking it all through.
And?
Well, I don't see why you're so bothered. One bloke thinks you're a cup size short of page 3 and you go into a flat. He must need his marbles recounting. Pinky and Perky are perfect the way they are.
Keep it down.
Meet me at the office at 12.
Loads of pens and pencils there for you, love.
Aye, plenty of scrap paper.
Hey, them's betting slips. You can't do a sums on that.
The blank on bank.
We'll manage.
Sir, do I have to call you Miss Thomas or Ms?
Jasmine's fine.
Yeah, we'll let you crack on then.
Aye, good luck. Hey.
Right, Belle. I thought we'd have a little chat, help us decide where to begin.
Is that a vision I see before me?
Shut your pie trap. Jasmine's my new teacher.
Have you anything for a headache?
Hair of the hound.
Oh, if only. I was tucked up in front of the telly last night. Me, Emily, and her unhealthy fascination with David Jason. Talk about dark horses.
What?
These casino matches. Have you been loitering around roulette wheels hunting for Daniel Craig lookalikes?
Nancy Drew's powers of deduction strike again. The promotional samples. I might have some made up for here.
Good idea. Thank you. Is there anything you want me to look over before I go?
Should there be?
I just don't want to give you any spurious reason for spending the afternoon drinking with my wife.
Surely Purdy can do what she wants.
Not what she's trying for my baby. You see, she's under a strict health regime at the moment and needs very little persuasion to falter.
And that was me thinking you were jealous.
Gray's not the type. Are you, darling?
You're a lucky woman.
What are you doing here?
You forgot your diary. Are you going to buy me a drink for my trouble? Tonic water, obviously.
Better still, why don't we go for lunch at the Woolly? My treat.
Treat. Woolly. Now, there's an oxymoron. I'll follow you.
You were checking up on him. If you're that worried that he's got another woman, you need to come out and confront him.
The shampoo should clear up Conrad's unwanted guests, Mrs. Dacre. Just try and keep him well away from Abel, Mungo, Flora, Dora, and Snitch. Thank you.
Hey, that woman's never in here with the same animal twice. Her house must honk.
Joe, I'd like you to take an early lunch. Myself and Paddy need to talk.
We need to talk. I tried to talk to you last night. Look how that ended.
You were judging me.
When is it going to sink in? As senior partner, it's my job to judge you.
I'm trying to apologise.
How? Look, I don't even care. The way you've been carrying on, I'm considering giving you a verbal warning.
Maybe I won't give you the chance. Let's see how this throwback to James Herriot you call a business would cope without me.
Have you heard yourselves? You're a couple of professionals. We're on the wrong side of 30. You should know better than to throw a hissy fit in front of your only employee.
Yeah, apologies, Joel. We've nothing more to say to each other anyway.
Yeah, well, if you think I'm going to hang around here playing piggy in the middle while you aren't talking, you're wrong.
Well, I've more calls to make.
No, you should stay here and sort it out. I'm taking an early lunch. And it's going to be a long one.
Carlo. Hey, we've had a couple of close shaves lately. Jack answered your call yesterday.
I didn't call. Heard he must have read your text.
She doesn't think you've got yourself a floozy, does she?
Doubt it.
Oh, pity. Quite fancy being a Scarlet woman. Reminds me of me pre-welly wearing days.
She's dead against my gambling. Even the odd harmless flutter.
We'd better avoid all phone contact from now on. It'll be secret codes next. 2 rattles of the drip tray, you'll know me chips are itching and I'm raring to go.
And with your home education inspection due, you need all the help you can get. Outbrought maths, English and science. There's not so much is already missed.
That's very thoughtful.
It was a necessity. Otherwise, when this nonsense is over, she'll find it impossible to catch up.
Hey, this nonsense will never be over. You call my daughter a liar, so I am not putting her back in the care of a monkey-minded bully like you. We have arranged for expert tutoring, so we don't need your help. Or your flaming textbooks.
I'm ever so sorry. I'll make him see sense if I have to throttle it into him. Right, you.
My brother's hot-headed, whereas I'm just hot.
You always thought highly of yourself.
Ah, well, if you've got it, flaunt it. I can still turn heads.
You're not doing a bad job of my stomach either. Oh, you rancid old beggar.
Here you go. Oh, thanks very much.
I've just got to pop home for something.
Well, just got you a drink.
Joe was right. We needed to do this.
Yeah, no, well, we might as well get everything out in the open then. It's just that you're so happy being the Uber vet. You can almost hear the ting every time you're saving the day. And your toothy little smile. You never want to do the nitty-gritty of the business, though, do you?
You can't have it both ways.
No, but I'm talking about the basics, not you carrying on like you're in charge.
I do my fair share of paperwork.
Well, I've never seen you.
After I've made amends with Edna, I will tackle that little pile and it will prove to you my prowess with the spreadsheet. I want this to work, Paddy. For both of us.
Yeah, me too. Now, you've got to make the day of a Christian woman. She might even put in a word for you upstairs. God knows you need it.
I suppose it gives you a thrill to take me for an utter fool.
No. Sorry, I've missed something.
Oh, God bless the gays. Flutter their lashes and think every woman of a certain age will be putty in their palms. Well, not this one.
What do you think you're doing?
You're sleeping with my husband, and you'll stop unless you want to make the worst enemy a boy could ever have.
You're late. We'll never get to Skiptail Hall and back now.
I said I didn't want any lunch.
What's wrong, baby?
I've been to see the doctor. She reckons one of the reasons they might have lost some of their bounce is that there could be a problem. I might have ruptured the implants I've already got. I'm scared.
Being gay is more complicated than latching onto the first bloke who shows an inclination to deliver the goods. Your husband wouldn't get me stirring if he was the only gay in the Vale of York. Aren't females supposed to be more in tune with the subtleties of sex?
You're not giving me any reason to believe you. You clearly know about Grayson.
I know. And I couldn't care less. It's nothing to do with me.
Ah, what about that night before Christmas?
Oh, my idea of romance. Rescuing my date from a mugging and then stopping his bleeding with a wad of wet toilet roll.
I know what he was up to. What he's managed to keep from me is the exact nature of your involvement. Do things really get going after you've been out on the prowl together?
I've hardly said more than 2 words to that man since I told him how appallingly he was treating you.
You're a bigger liar than he is.
I don't need to make a fool of you. You're doing a good enough job of it on your own. And I'd hazard a guess that it started on your wedding night.
You know nothing about my marriage.
I've been dragged around the edges of it enough to see that it isn't working. It's the age-old and frankly quite pathetic story. The woman who decides that the only cure a queer needs is a rapturous dose of what she has to offer, and you thought you'd be the one to change him.
No, I never wanted to change him. Being who he was made him the man I fell in love with. He was the one that wanted to change.
Yeah. We'll get that dressing changed early next week.
And how much will that cost? I wonder when you'd chime in.
I was about to discuss fees. I should have made you more aware of our full range of treatments.
Well, Paddy did hint there might have been cheaper alternatives. You have said enough.
I only wanted what was best for Tootsie. But I should have given you some other options. I worry the results wouldn't have been as satisfactory.
That's all that matters.
I still want to reassess what you owe by 25%.
Well, that's very generous. Despite my frugal lifestyle, I'm far from being a woman without means. And I do not care to be treated as a charity case. I'll pay you what you're due. And 3.
Gray told me he never thought he was capable of feeling for anyone what he felt for me, let alone a woman. I turned his world round.
You knew a relationship with him might be tricky.
I think I've said enough already.
Well, I'm willing to listen if it helps.
I've managed on my own in the past, and I'll carry on coping.
It's just a chance to let off some steam. I think you deserve to grab it.
Seems disloyal talking like this.
And Gray's behaviour isn't?
I resisted for a long time. Gray finally convinced me that I was all he wanted in his future. He'd never deny his past, but he'd leave it where it was.
And you believed him?
No, of course not. But I decided the odd lapse wouldn't be an issue. Gray and I are soulmates. But now that's not enough for him. I desperately miss who we were.
He made it clear to me that he thinks the world of you. Surely, if you love each other...
I'm worried that he might be trying to punish me.
Why would he do that?
I think you've had sufficient ear-bending for one afternoon.
It's good for the soul. I certainly can't understand the life that either of you have chosen. But I'm willing to try, if you want to talk again.
I appreciate that.
Well, you finally bagged yourself a winner.
What are you wittering on about?
Your young man. Not only has he got the best set of come-to-bed eyes this side of Skipdale, but he's a good egg. He's offered to slice Edna's bill for Tootsie. She didn't accept, of course. If pride really did come before a fall, that woman would never get up off the ground.
Right, you working? Can I have another glass of Merlot?
I really need a word with you first, in private. Okay.
there's nothing I need to hear from you that has to be said in private. You and Purdy are destroying each other. Me and Purdy have an agreement, although that's no concern of yours. Well, then you're stretching the boundaries of it out of all proportion. I'm sure there are reasons why a gay man might choose to get married, but if you ever had any, you've lost sight of them. Do you realise the state you've got Purdy into? I don't need to hear this. And what's worse is you're lying to yourself more than anyone else. Thank you. Diane.
We landladies have heard far worse.
I'm sorry?
Doesn't sound like I'm the one you should be saying sorry to. And don't even think of asking me not to tell anyone. That would be an insult you'd never find a way of apologising for.
Things can only get worse. I can kiss goodbye to any sort of glamour work.
But does the doctor think your health's at risk?
Well, she said I should strongly consider surgery. I mean, they might find there's nothing wrong, but the only way they'll know is by whipping the implants out.
Well, then you've got to do it.
Well, of course, with the NHS, there won't be any replacements. I'll have to go back to the way I was before. Flatter than a ballerina. Your man boobs will put me to shame.
I haven't got man boobs.
You must be joking. The old push to squeeze them into a trainer bra.
What's the alternative?
Well, going private, of course. And then I'd get the chance to do the enhancements along the way. But since I don't have the resources for that, Heart in General I'll have to do.
Well, is it incredibly expensive?
Well, I'd already done some research into that before I got today's news. There's a little place in London.
It's in Harley Street. It'll cost a fortune.
Well, I want the best care I can get, especially after today's news. This place has won every international award going. You wouldn't believe some of the celebs who've been packed slipping through the back door.
What sort of figure are we looking at?
Well, for the very reasonable sum of 30 grand, you could be looking at a figure with more curves than you could handle.
If there's even a hint that your health's at risk, then it's worth doing. Get it booked. I'm paying.
Uncle Shadrach, a Japanese poem by Beltingle. He gulps cheap beer lots, and much bad wind follows fast. Drunk old man.
Oh! What on earth was that?
A haiku.
What?
A word picture in 3 lines.
All our own work.
Oh, I'm dead proud.
Hang on a minute, I've got a poem. Mary had a little lamb. She thought he was quite silly. So she chucked him up in the air and caught him by his...
Do you mind?
Any problems?
There is one thing. Textbooks. I'm going to need schemes of work in line with the national curriculum. Oh, great. These are perfect.
Hang on a minute.
Hey, no. She is having them textbooks and that is final. I won't have any more of your mithering. Belle's future's more important than your pig-headed pride.
I shouldn't have called you a crook, but I think I can find a special way of making it up to you.
Hope this is a case of great minds think alike.
Not even your smutty little mind could come up with what I've got planned. I've got a bottle of red breathing that should help us get into the swing of things.
I must finish these spreadsheets. Paddy's let them slip. Oh, that fella manages to sum up into one slovenly package everything my father doesn't like about vets. Lazy, second-rate, and plodding.
Well, your dad can't accuse you of being like that.
Well, I'm hardly the apple of his eye. He always wanted me to go into his practice, and now he never stops finding new ways to show his disappointment. Still, there will come a time when he won't be able to question my success, and I can't wait for it.
Well, if you think Paddy's holding you back, why don't you just move on?
Not when I can see so much potential here. I just have to make sure he starts seeing it, somehow.
Well, don't be too late.
I don't believe you shared intimate details with a virtual stranger.
Well, you confided in Paul. Why is it when I do, I'm suddenly the villain?
Because your encounter with him arose from your ridiculous suspicion.
Ah, well, we all know how yours arose, so it's hardly surprising if I'm suspicious.
Look, haven't we dealt with that? The fact is that you still don't trust me. Checking my phone, and now the diary incident this morning, which we all know you engineered.
Well, what else am I supposed to do?
Try talking to me.
What, and hear nothing but a pack of lies?
You've always understood what you're taking on. If I ever lie to you, it's to protect you.
Well, I shouldn't need protecting like that. When we married, you promised to be faithful. I have spent years refining what faithful means. I've proved my love to you by cutting you plenty of slack.
Then what's changed?
You have. Every day I find myself wondering if your promises mean anything.
Well, I feel the same. I've given up kidding myself that you're ever going to fulfill your promise to me.
How dare you?
To discover I could sire children was something of a minor miracle. It was therefore a cruel twist of fate when I found out the only person I could do that with can't manage to hang on to any of them. Thank you.